Aloha from the Ozarks. Folks, I have this 10 by 20 single slope. We call this an urban shed. It's got the transom windows at the top. I want to take you on inside this building and show it off to you. 3 by 3 window over here on the side, 2 by 3 windows on the front. We got a 9 light door, standard size, 36 by 80. 9 light for the 9 little windows, and those transom windows up across the top. Now let's go on inside. This is from our Essential series, which means we use LP Smart flooring and siding. So this is a Louisiana Pacific product designed just for the shed industry. It is not particle board or chipboard. It is a very high quality, durable product. And it's the same thing for the flooring, except the flooring does have a cover on the top that makes it impact resistant and mold resistant, mildew resistant. So it's a great product. It's made out of only aspen wood. Okay, so it's a very good product. We also make the same building with plywood if you would prefer, but that's I have to custom built for you. This particular one is made with LP Smart siding and flooring. The roof has the radiant barrier roof upgrade, and I'll talk to you about that in just a moment. Standard on all of our buildings, our walls are 2x4s, and they're pressure treated and they're premium grade. So they're a pretty grade of lumber. Costs a little bit more for us to do that, but it gives you a better looking building on the inside, better quality. 16 inches on center is standard for how we do our wall studs. And we double stud them every third wall stud every 4 feet. It's double studded, and that's all the way down. So there's a double stud here. We go single, single, and then a double. And it's the same way again, single, single, double, all the way around. We double stud the walls. The base of the walls is a single 2x4. At the tops of the walls, the wall cap or wall header is a double 2x4. We do that double 2x4 at the top of our walls to give a very strong, sturdy base to mount our roof trusses to. We mount our roof trusses using these. These are, it just looks like a regular screw, but it is not. It's called a hurricane screw. It's a really, really long screw. It holds up to 830 pounds of tensile strength, which is very, very strong. Almost double the strength of what we used to use to mount our roof trusses, which was the hurricane clips, those big metal clips. But now we've switched to these screws because they're just about double the strength. And we do that to mount our roof trusses to the tops of a sturdy base on the walls, okay? So that's how we do our walls. We frame up all of our window frames and door frames double studs. And what that means, and you can notice there's 3, okay? There's 3 over there on that side. What that means for you is when we double stud the door and window frames, is that frame's gonna stay square with this building. So that once it's delivered to you, once it's set on your lot and your site and leveled, the door and window frames are gonna stay square with the building, and they should open and shut like they're supposed to do because we kept that frame reinforced. So double stud window frames, double stud door frames, and it just happens to fall right next to a double stud regular wall frame. So very strong and sturdy frames for your doors and windows, and that's a big deal. So when you're shopping around at other companies' portable buildings, please pay attention to that. Pay attention to, do they double stud at the wall caps, and how do they mount the roof trusses to the roofs. Now let's talk about our roof truss. In this particular style of building, this single slope roof, we call it an urban shed, the roof truss is a 2x6, and it's double studs. You'll notice that. Okay, all the way across. Well, not all of them. Single stud here, double stud here, single stud, double stud. Okay, 2x6s, premium grade pressure treated lumber, all right? So that's just standard for how we do them in this style of building. This particular building has the radiant barrier roof upgrade, which reflects out 97% of the sun's radiant heat. It's that shiny aluminum foil looking stuff. That keeps this building about 20 degrees cooler than a building that will not have the radiant barrier. That's a big deal. Standard roof decking is OSB roof decking. On the outside is the metal. Between the metal and the OSB decking is a moisture barrier. It's a tar paper. And then on the inside of this building, we put the radiant barrier roof, which is a very nice upgrade inside this building. It's optional if you want us to build one for you. We can do it without the radiant barrier. I always recommend it because it makes a 20-degree difference in the hot, hot summertime. It really does make a difference. All right, so I talked to you about the walls and the roof. Let's talk about the floors. LP Smart flooring, just like I said, LP Smart siding on the siding. LP Smart flooring is 5/8 inches thick, and it's tongue and groove. Also, the siding is tongue and groove. I forgot to mention that. Flooring is tongue and groove as well. And underneath the flooring, we use 2x6 floor joists. So they're similar to our roof trusses. In this particular building, we use those 2x6s. We use 2x6s down here underneath in the floor joist. And like our wall studs, they are 16 inches apart underneath, okay? So 16 inches apart all the way across. Standard for our flooring, 2x6 floor joists. Those floor joists sit on top of the runners, the skids you might call them, that are what make a portable building portable. So those are big 4x6 skids that run all the length of the building. We notch those 4x6 pressure treated skids. We notch them out 1 inch deep, and every place a floor joist goes, we rest that floor joist into that 1 inch deep notch. So that's all the way down this building. It gives a super strong and sturdy base for the building, okay? So that's standard for how we build all of ours. And if you're shopping around, I would ask them, how do you notch what do you do with your floor joists, and how do you attach them to your skids? We attach them in a very strong and sturdy way that keeps the base of the building extremely strong, okay? Keeps the box of the building strong. All right, and I forgot to mention the transom windows across the top give a lot of light. So this is a really neat building. We make a great like studio, right? A perfect little studio. I just love all the light that's coming in. Now let's talk about the pricing. We have different discounts that apply every single month, and they change out sometimes even in the middle of the month. So I always try to keep my pricing up to date on my webpage. And I try to keep up to date with my YouTube videos and my Facebook postings, but always default to my website, because that's where I will for sure always have the latest pricing updated for these buildings, okay? So you can check out what that is. And there's always a military discount, so thank you to active duty and retired military. That always applies regardless of what other discounts I can apply at the time that you want to buy your building. Let's see here, what else? Rent to own is available. Of course, cash price is always your lowest price, but rent to own is available to you. 1 month payment is minimum that's required up front. There's no credit check, and there's no penalty to pay it off early. So of course, I always encourage you to pay it off early, but there's no penalty to do so. And we don't do any credit checks, so it's super easy to get into a building. If you pay 2 months up front, you get 90 days after the building has been delivered to you before the next payment is due. So there's a benefit or a bonus to actually paying 2 months payments up front, all right? If you have questions about RTO, you can give me a call or text me. My number's right there, or chat with me on my website. My website's right there on the screen, okay? Delivery is free within 50 miles of my lot. After 50 miles, there is a mileage charge. On a building of this size, it'd be like $4.75 a mile once we go past 50 miles, okay? We will deliver it and set it up on the ground or on blocks that you provide up to 2 feet high. So you provide the blocks, our driver will set them up and set the building on top of them and level the building. And if you want him to, he'll anchor it into the ground as long as you let us know that you want it anchored. And as long as you do that, call 811 and make sure there's no utilities in the ground. And as long as your ground really is suitable for anchoring, the Ozarks have a lot of rocks and we hand drive those anchors. So we got to be able to drive those anchors into the ground. But we will anchor it down like a mobile home. And we have 150 mile an hour wind gust rating on these buildings, and part of the reason we do that is because we are able to do that is because of how we anchor them, and also because of how we mount those roof trusses, like I mentioned earlier, to the tops of our walls. We build these things, they're designed to handle 150 mile an hour wind gust, not a sustained wind, but a wind gust. All right, if you have any questions about this building or anything else on my lot, you know what to do. Reach out to me. Aloha from the Ozarks.